everybody. Welcome to the City Girls Pod. And this is a show where we talk all things Sex in the City, including and just like that. Just laugh because it's so terrible that you're just like, that's all. That's all you can do is just laugh.
And we know, we see you and just like that, writers. We know
Yeah.
you're trolling us. And honestly, I appreciate it because guess what? I really look forward to watching it each week. I like talking with you about it. I like going on Reddit and engaging with it. I love when you send me TikToks about it. Look, it's a whole
Like
community thing.
it really, I mean, TikTok is out of control and just like that. Like it's a phenomenon.
Truly, it's popping off. It is.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we'll get into it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is there. It is chef's kiss, hate watching, bad, 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 bad. But I am
It's a
entertained.
vicious
You know what?
cycle. It is because the hate watching just produces more terrible programming, which then produces more hate watching, which then it's a problem.
But before we jump in, I have to ask you and make a confession. I want a season 4. I know I want a season 4. How are you feeling?
I just can't be that much of a narcissist to want a season 4, but like I kind of maybe want a season 4 just for the content alone.
For the content alone,
Mm.
please.
I
Please.
mean, the thing that's ironic about these two episodes though is that like the episodes themselves are kind of boring. It's the madness surrounding them that like thank goodness because it made it entertaining to cover.
I will say, I mean, I know we're diving in, but I will say that on episode 7, so the second episode that we're going to be talking about today, I actually found it really entertaining, but just it kept being like, what?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just not that interested in like Aiden picking out glass. And like a lot of the
Oh
stuff has
no.
just been like kind of boring these two episodes. I I was grateful for Patty LuPone. I'm like, okay, at least
And we weren't
not
saying that a couple weeks
interesting. Like,
ago.
what in the heck is this character and why it's like I don't even understand. But
You
but
mean
yeah,
you weren't riveted by Aiden going to Scranton, Pennsylvania?
yeah, I'm supposed to be so compelled. But yeah, so let's dive in. Talk about it. So really the big thing to talk about. So this episode silent mode. We have Lisa, her father dies. And the problem with this is that Lisa's father already died. So and like the thing that's hilarious is that like they should just be like, nah, you got us. Like we screwed up. Sorry, it happens. No big deal. Like they should have just laughed it off. But then they like made it even worse, which is just absolutely hilarious. That because it's not even just that like her dad died. They had like a whole dramatic conversation about like with her and Charlotte.
That's the thing too. Like I get now they're saying that that was her stepdad.
Yeah,
Oh,
ridiculous. She
okay.
says so. Charlotte is feeling sad about in season 1 about Big's death, and Lisa says, "I was the exact same way when I lost my dad last year." No human being would say that in that way about their stepdad.
No,
Like
no.
you have a stepdad, correct? Like,
No, I've had a variety of mom's boyfriends and dad's
oh,
girlfriends,
okay,
but
but you
I
would
would never
never
have.
describe them as your just dad.
No, absolutely not. Like that's the thing. And most of literally everyone I know that has a stepdad or a stepmom, they like I have a really good friend whose stepdad passed away and he was really close to him, like even closer than he is to his dad. But he had a nickname for him. He
Yeah,
said
yeah,
stepdad. It was never, even though he was closer to him,
yeah.
he didn't say my dad.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing it gets even worse because not only do they have this continuity error, but they literally have her dad in season 2. They have her
Sorry.
dad as a character that he's played by Billy D. Williams. Remember that episode at the
Yeah,
dinner party?
he was actually really great.
Yeah, that so he's alive in season 2, and then now he's dead again in
Yes, he was dead. He was revived, and now he's dead again.
dead again. So I'm thinking Carrie will evidently be having a dinner with Big in the next episode.
I mean, at this point, Rachel,
The
yes,
multiverse. Each season takes place in a different alternate universe.
yes. Someone said that we were going to realize that like this was like a fever dream that Samantha was having when she was like on the beach or she had passed out. And another one was like Big is actually hospitalized after the Peloton heart attack incident, and this is him in a coma having all of this happen. Which
Yeah.
honestly, these twists would make it all make sense.
Well, and then so some people are getting like defensive of the show. Somebody says, God forbid a show have a campy, fun, and unserious moment. That comment makes absolutely no sense because this was not a campy,
No,
unserious moment. This was meant to be like this big emotional moment. Like, so like, yeah,
Rachel,
maybe
that
there was
doesn't make a lick of sense.
no. And so like they're trying to get this like big emotion from Lisa and her character and everything, like for a character that they killed off and that they then brought back alive and now he's dead again.
No, that it makes no sense. If they were referring to the funeral itself and saying about it being camp, great. Yes, I loved it. I love camp. I love camp. This is not camp.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Like there was maybe a tiny bit with Lucille and like bless that actress's heart because she was working. She was trying so hard to make
She
that
killed it.
character work. She was really trying. There was some maybe a ton to camp there, but like, but for the most part, it was played serious. Lisa like feeling with one with her father and him working at this theater and her like being part of the community and being accepted and whatever. Like it was not campy fun.
No, it
Yeah.
was not.
No.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Somebody else says, can we talk about how, and just like that, feels like if someone asked Chat GPT to write an entire series after only having seen the Sex and the City movie?
Yes, it's not even a
Ding,
series.
ding, 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 ding.
Because here's the thing, Rachel. ChatGPT, if it had been fed all the Sex and the City episodes, would be coming up with something better.
They would.
You're right.
That's
It is only having watched the movies.
Yeah, which it would explain a lot about how they treated Steve because he's a real scoundrel in that first movie.
Mhm.
You know, it's bad. So like it would explain a lot of choices
Yes, it would.
if
I
they had done that.
This is ridiculous. It's
Like
ridiculous.
I mean, if you're still defending it and just like that, like, then you.
You need to take a long, hard look
It's not the hill I would die on. I'll tell you that
Nope.
right now.
Nope, certainly not. And look, as someone who, and I know you're like this too, because of like creating your own content, and you also support people that create their own content, and all about being scrappy, and like not everything can be perfect. This show has nearly unlimited resources.
Yeah.
And an IP that is so incredibly strong. And like, I don't understand how this happened.
Like stronger than I would have guessed, to be
Yes.
completely honest.
Yeah.
Like they I mean, they could just imagine if the show had actually been good. Like, just imagine what it could have been.
But I
If
can't imagine.
if it's still this with this quality, like what it would have been. I mean, and they come out like they should have just like been like, we own it. Sorry, we messed up. You know, it's all, you know, it is what it is. And just
Yeah.
like owned it. And then it would have been like, no big deal. It happens on most shows. Like
Yes.
most shows have moments of continuity that make no sense, or you know, it's a thing like that most television shows have. And so if they just done that, but then to like come out with this statement of like, oh, season 1, it was her stepfather's death, is just nonsensical and ridiculous. And like, don't do that. Like, just own it. Like, we screwed up. Who cares?
Here's
It's
2
fine.
things that they could have said to make it work for me better. Owning it and saying, look, we realized we wrote ourselves into a corner there. When Billy D. Williams was available and we can make him a theater guy, how could we say no to that? Or Lisa was desperate to connect with Charlotte, and she literally just made it up and said that.
Yeah, there
Like,
you go.
Like, I know that's dumb. It's all dumb. It's all dumb. But please, it's like when someone says, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. We know that wasn't her stepdad. We don't believe you. Don't gaslight me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And so that was way more entertaining than anything that actually happened on the show.
Sure was. Sure was.
These
Sure
2
was.
episodes.
Sure was.
But anyway, so yeah, so silent mode. This episode is as Miranda takes a tentative next step with Joy, Carrie connects with Duncan on their writing projects, and Lisa butts heads with Lucille. And so there we go. And so you have this whole thing with like Duncan wanting Carrie to read his story, and then her giving him her story. And I think that they really missed it on this one, that it would have been way funnier and way more romantic if he hated her story.
100%. Yes.
Like if he was just like, this is trash. And then you could have had like similar to like, say, a Professor Bear and Joe moment where he's like, I don't really like this story. Like, I don't, you know, what is it? And that could have been fun because they established the initial dynamic was basically an enemies to lovers arc with these 2. He doesn't like her walking around so much. They kind of have like, they start someone antagonistic. So like that would have been like funny and natural, and it would have been way better than like, oh, it's brilliant.
Definitely. And also what I would offer, if for some reason they didn't want to go lean full into enemies to lovers and continue the dynamic, if they're like, no, we want there to be like, there's conflict with Aiden, there's conflict happening around, we want them to like get to see their thing, which I think you can see in banter and stuff. That's why it works, enemies to lovers. What if he was like, okay, this is really good, I like it, but if you thought about this, like if they actually got into a discussion about writing where it was like they could feed off of each other's ideas, and it wasn't just like, you're amazing. It didn't even feel like how a writer would talk to another writer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just, it felt like, wow, y'all are really afraid to like allow her to have any kind of flaws. Like Carrie is now like in the original series, Carrie was kind of a jerk. Like I feel like so much of this show has been them like responding to backlash from the original series, and in ways that have been misguided at best, that, oh, well, like, that, so Lily's going to drop that she's dating somebody who's poly, and no response from Charlotte, no response from Harry, no response, no concern for your child, because they're so scared that they were seen as being sort of outdated, and that they're, oh, well, we've got to see modern now, we got to have the perfect response. So then you lose the humor, you lose the persons, you lose the personalities, you lose the flaws. And so, like, I feel like with Carrie, it's like they heard that feedback of like, oh, Carrie's kind of unlikable. She's not like the best friend. She's not like, but yeah, she's a human being. Like, sometimes people aren't the best friends. Sometimes
Yes.
people aren't, like perfect in who they date or what they say, or they have prejudices or flaws that makes them a good lead character for your show. And so instead, now we have like, literally, she's a first-time fiction author, and everything that she writes is brilliant.
And it's
Like, that's not interesting. That's not funny. It's not like,
also the fact
what are you
that it's
doing?
period. Look, if she was writing like a Emily Giffin type book, like a rom-com
Yeah.
type thing,
Yeah.
even though she's been doing nonfiction, I think that kind of fiction and voice would lend itself a little bit more, but she's doing a period piece,
Yeah.
which is really tricky. And I think it's really interesting that they're doing this, even when you're talking about the relationship that Lily has. Lily is not someone that should be in a poly relationship, especially with this guy, because, like we said before, she's obsessed with him. And she doesn't like it works for some people to be poly, but it's not working for Lily, and they're not even concerned about her well-being of being
Yeah.
obsessed with this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It just feels like boring, because it's like, well, why am I interested in these characters? Like, they are, like, they're perfect. They're basically like Mary Sue's, but in like a television series that's been long running with established characters.
100%. Yeah.
What?
Like,
So I have to say, they did turn the Joy and Miranda thing is like working pretty well, because that first kiss was so bad and so like poorly done. I cannot understand that in a million years why they did that. But like, they were pretty good. I think these two episodes, the two of them, they have like okay chemistry. It's like working pretty well for me.
I'm loving Joy and Miranda. My problem still is that Miranda on her own is incredibly cringe still.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
to me, like
Yeah.
with Joy, this relationship dynamic, it's great. But I mean, we'll get into that more in episode 2. That's when her cringe really was popping. But
Uh-huh.
I am really enjoying what's going on with her and Joy. But even
Yeah.
in this episode with Seema looking for apartments, like, Miranda should know. I understand the principle of not giving over asking, but if she can afford it, and it's almost like this weird dynamic of she would know how New York real estate works in the
Yeah.
bracket that she's in.
Of course. She's like bought
Yeah.
multiple property over the course of the series. And uh, I mean, I was going to ask you about that. Is like over asking, is that like a real thing in New York City?
Yes. The thing is
Like,
that, like,
I
it,
mean, I realize it's a thing, but is there like a stigma attached to it? I've never heard.
oh, no. Like, actually, exactly. No. I think if you can afford it, it's a thing that people would do. Like, I think Miranda would be like, yeah, we want to make sure we get this, especially because it is not on the market yet and you don't want it to go to market.
Yeah. Well, and like, who out there is judging other people's home buying choices? Like, I could see, I guess, judging like, oh, this place is like a little over the top. It's a little gaudy. It's a little whatever. Or like, I don't know why you moved into that neighborhood, maybe, or something like that. But I don't know anybody that's like, yeah, you overpaid on that. I'm really judging you. Like, who cares? But
Who cares? Also, like, who's going to know? Like, I know sometimes they have to like publicize what something sells for, but
yeah.
like, no one's really talking about it to you. And
They
also,
would just be like, "Oh, you bought an apartment.
yeah,
Way to go." You
way
know,
to
like,
go.
and like if you told me like, "Oh, I bought a place," I'd be like, "Way to go. That's
Way to
great.
go.
Congratulations. That's exciting."
Rather than like, did you pay over
I can't be,
asking?
yeah,
What
I
did
can't imagine anybody being like, "Oh, you paid over asking. I'm judging." Like, what? I was like, New York is weird, but I don't think it's that weird.
No, I think that was just like a weird, again, it's like they're just trying to like create drama out of weird
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
Um,
I did thank goodness for Bitsy in these episodes. She was a breath of fresh air.
so
Love Bitsy.
love Bitsy. I also heard someone or on Reddit, someone was saying that she seemed a lot older than them in the first in like Sex and the City
Yeah,
proper.
you're right. That's true. That's a good
And
point.
now they were saying she looks incredible. Someone was saying she,
Yeah,
not that she didn't
that's
look
true.
incredible before, but they were like aging wise, like it's, and boy, is she a breath of fresh air. She, and you know what? She's still playing the same character. Thank God someone
Yeah.
is.
Let's see. I'm gonna see how old Julie Halston is. That's the actress.
She's
Uh,
so good.
she is a delight. Let's see here. So she's 70.
Oh, she looks
Uh,
fantastic.
yeah, she really does look great.
She is a little older than them then.
Let's see here. So she's 10 years older. So, but yeah, you're right, though. That is very true. That so she's 10 years older than SJP. And and Kristen Davis is 60 as well. Cynthia Nixon is 59. So they're all around 60, all
So,
three of those
so them tracks
actresses.
too with the original series. She felt like she was about a decade older than them.
She felt probably more than
Yeah.
that even in the original.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. But she was fun. It was just like, oh, who are you seeing at the big C? That's funny to me.
Yeah, it is
Big
funny to me
C
too. It's
clinic.
like Bitsy making everything a social event.
Yeah. I feel like Harry, it does not really fit his personality with keeping this a secret from anybody.
I don't
I
think
don't
so
understand like
either.
why he would want that of Charlotte and why like I just don't think that he would he just seems like a real chill guy. Like that he wouldn't want it to be a big deal. He would
And
just
yet,
tell everybody and be like, "Yep, I'm going." Like,
I agree. I also think that for some, I do think it may be in a world where he was terminal or they thought he could be terminal. I could understand wanting, because after you ring that bell, you can't unring it. Like you can't get back to normalcy. So I could understand why he would maybe want to keep that private at first. But all this, I mean, it's still very serious. It's cancer, and I'm not trying to diminish it. But he can say in the same breath, I'm getting surgery. The doctors are really optimistic.
yeah,
Like there's
90% recovery rate. Like, if anything, you're making it into more of a trauma than it needs to be by keeping it secret.
what happens when your kids find out that you had cancer?
Yeah, because so the girls they don't know yet,
The
right?
girls don't know. And that's another thing. If he was like, "Hey, Charlotte, I don't want you like posting on Instagram for prayers. I don't want you telling everyone in creation. Can you just tell your best friends and we'll tell our family?"
Yeah,
He doesn't want that kind of attention. But to not have her be able to tell anyone,
yeah,
that's wild.
that is it. It doesn't feel like his character. It
No.
doesn't.
Hey, this is David from the Piecing It Together podcast, a podcast about movies and the movies that inspire them. For over 4 years each week, a guest and I take a look at a new movie through the lens of what other movies we think were either an influence or connect in some other way. It's a fun, unique way to discuss films that leads to a great list of other movies to check out that either explore the same themes and ideas or maybe utilize similar filmmaking techniques. Including special episodes in our side series that twist the format, we've done over 200 episodes, so there's bound to be one on a film you've been thinking about and want to dig deeper into. So check us out on all the major podcasting apps and at piecingpod.com.
So Lisa has been like kind of flirting with this editor. Marion is his name, and he drops that he's married
Yes.
in this. So things are getting, more complicated. Of course, she's married, And then he meets the husband. I don't even know his name, just Lisa husband.
Lisa
And
husband.
yeah. And
I know
then
the campaign manager's name, which is hilarious. Chauncey. We hear that more than we hear her husband's name.
and I'm just so, this is so not interesting to me. I do not care about Lisa in this documentary that's taken 8 years. Like, what is going on? And I don't know. Like, it was funny the other day when someone was saying like she can't cheat on George Washington. That was a very funny joke.
Guys,
But
yeah.
like, I'm just not
Look,
Lisa. Not
do I
feeling
care
it.
about this plot? Not really.
No.
But this guy is so hot. And look, I am not into
Marion's really doing it for you, huh?
so much, Rachel. So much. And look, none of these guys are. Steve's gone. The gardener who I thought was hot in the first episode he was in, now I feel like I can smell him through the screen.
Yes. I mean, we have to talk about that because I don't know what they're doing. Like, he looked like Luke Bracey in the beginning, and now he looks like unkempt, weird.
Wait, so that wasn't just me.
There's no world where this man would be attractive to Seema. It does not make any sense at all.
Rachel, I can't figure out what happened because he's always been, which I love, like this t-shirt wearing, jean wearing, blue collar, like working on the garden, like that's his great. But I really feel like I can smell him through the screen. Like I feel like he's dirty now.
Yeah, it's not just a blue collar look, which I still don't think makes any sense for Seema.
No, it doesn't.
And her character, but it's just, yeah, he looks dirty. You're absolutely right about that. Like,
I don't know
not sexy. Like, he does not look sexy. It is so weird.
But it did change, right? I was like,
oh, definitely. There
Yeah.
was a change, and it's weird. Like, yeah, you do. You want to be like, did you brush your teeth? Like, brush your hair? Like, why in the world would you come to this party looking like that? That makes no sense.
Well, and
Like,
actually,
you would at least try to, like, if you were knowing you're getting invited to this party in this, like, you would at least try harder. You just would, like, you'd want to, like,
how hot would it have been for him to wear just like a pair of fitted jeans, a belt, and like a tucked in, or not even tucked in, but like a
if he
nice
had just
colored shirt.
had jeans and like a black t-shirt.
Yes.
You know, and had like cleaned up his facial hair, made him look nicer. Like, so even if he hadn't gone designer or anything like that, just like he looks like he's trying to impress people and not trying to beg for money.
Rachel, it was that level. I was just like, what are you
It was so weird. I cannot understand. Do they think that's hot? It's so weird.
I think they do. I think they do. And that's why honestly, give me Marion. Give me Marion. Like I need something. You took away Steve. You made Gardner unkempt.
Are they trying to do that with Duncan? What's going on? And then like the whole thing with Aiden is just frustrating and annoying, and he throwing the rock through the glass. Why can't things just go my way?
He's a petulant little boy.
Yes. And
acting like Wyatt.
Yeah. Wyatt, he won't go on the airplane, which I guess you could see like maybe he's just trying to get attention, but also like I just don't feel like it vibes like any kind of rebellious teenager behavior, you know, like the fact he cares so much about what his parents would think, and like it's not even just that he cares about what his parents would think, like it just doesn't make sense. It's not logical that he would care about his father dating Carrie. Like, are they, that's why I was so confused. I was like, are they like pretending to be a couple, him and Kathy? Like, what is happening? Like, why on earth would Wyatt care? And if he, like, I don't know, I just don't think that makes sense for a teenager.
No, it doesn't. Also, like Kathy is, we can assume she's been with Bob for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
An episode is called They Want to Have Fun. And it's all focused around Charlotte's birthday party. And all the sort of mistaken communication basically is that Carrie tells Miranda that Richard Burton, the dog, has a tumor because she can't tell him about Harry. Even though she specifically asked, is Harry sick? I felt like,
I thought they shouldn't have said, is Harry sick? I thought it should have been like, is someone sick?
Yeah.
And then
I was like, I don't think that Carrie would have lied. I think she would have just been like, I'm not supposed to tell you, but
yeah,
rather than like lie about the dog. And so like Miranda's then very concerned about the dog and making things nice for Charlotte, which is very sweet because they've had an interesting back and forth over the years, the two of them as friends.
yeah.
And she's put up this karaoke machine and getting a whole bunch of balloons. And Carrie, when she first brought the balloons, she was kind of like, and I'm like, what? Carrie would like balloons, It's not like, I mean, I guess if it was a garish balloon, like,
But it
I
wasn't.
don't know, something like a Mylar one with some garish thing. It was like
Right.
nice. She would not care about that. Yeah. But anyway, and so then the karaoke and Lisa's son, big fan of the karaoke.
All right. Here's what I will say, Rachel. This party to me, even though it was unhinged and yes, cringe, I really loved every second of it. I was laughing out loud at a lot of this. Her son doing karaoke really had me howling. Miranda trying to take pictures of Charlotte and her dog and like focusing on that. Like,
yeah, that was pretty good.
all of that had me laughing so hard. And I'm just someone who loves we're all in the house together and it's like you get to see how everyone's interacting. I really enjoy that because we're in a season where we're doing a lot of like separateness of these groups.
Yeah,
That is problematic for me.
That's a good point. And it felt like, okay, these are friends trying to help each other, and so it had a good energy to it, and yeah, I could see that. And so Carrie ends up reading the first part of Duncan's book, and this book is about Margaret Thatcher, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, it was so unbelievable. It was an incredible book, and I'm like, I mean, I don't have any issues with writing a book about Margaret Thatcher, but let's be honest, that probably sounds like a little bit boring. Like, again, that would have been a much funnier plot line if you'd had Carrie be like, I didn't get it. Like, then that's funny. Then that's a banter. That's a back and forth. Like, oh, you don't like my book? Oh, that's funny. Like, I can't believe you don't like my book. You don't like my writing. What do you if you got a problem? Well, Margaret Thatcher, I don't like her for this reasons or whatever.
Totally.
Like, just something rather than like, you're brilliant too. Like, there's nothing.
Yes. I think too along those lines that Carrie could give notes that are very Carrie, like, well, what about Margaret Thatcher's sex life? And did she have any fun? Did she have friends? What did she do in her free time? Like, and I could see him laughing and being like, that doesn't belong in here. And Carrie saying, why not? And then
Like if she had
Duncan-
said like, sorry, your book is Snoozeville, then that would have been funny. Also, what would have been funnier and much better is if, so when Miranda finds Carrie's chapters, I wish that had been Duncan's book. Because that would have been funny because she's a fangirl of Duncan. So she had
Yes.
found Duncan's book and had some like big response to it. Like maybe because Margaret Thatcher was conservative and, you know, and she's obviously not. So like, again, that could have been funny and you could have had a response. Like, I can't believe you're like, you're turning into a hero, or I can't believe like, and then so she's upset or with Duncan and like, just that. Like, how can they not see that that would be so much better?
It, again, mind-boggling. Also, Miranda's reaction to Carrie's story didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
being like, is it about you?
well, and about the story, and also it wasn't funny. It had no like. It was again just more like, oh, look how brilliant you are. Like what?
Yeah.
Bizarre. But
So
then we get. I mean, really, thank God for Patti LuPone because she was really funny as Giuseppe's mom, and like, who is this person? She's like, she's like faking an Italian. Like,
I
what?
think so. I think she's faking it
She's from Pennsylvania.
from Pennsylvania, I think, or Jersey, Pennsylvania, somewhere northeast. And she's not Italian. I mean, I thought all of this was unhinged and amazing. I love
Giuseppe is from it. He's Italian, so like,
Italian.
was confused about her backstory. I'm like, is
It
she
was
from Italy, but she's been in Pennsylvania for a long time? But then I
That's
swear they said that, oh, she's not Italian.
no,
Like,
I
was
think
she,
she's not
didn't they have
Italian.
didn't they have a line about what is this accent?
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe she lives in Italy now and she's like taken on the accent to be dramatic. But getting to see her and Carrie at lunch together was a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's not that impressed with Anthony.
No.
She doesn't think he's great. She thinks his store is tacky, basically. And yeah, and then so you have Charlotte meeting Harry's personal shopper, which was like a little bit funny, but I think they still could have made it even funnier. You
Yeah.
know,
And
than
also
like,
do feel
because I think what would have been really funny is if Charlotte had been like, how did you know like all of my tastes? How did you know what I liked? How did you know to pick out this? Like that would have been funny.
I completely agree. And if she was almost like not like, am I in love with you, but like, oh, you see inside me.
Yeah, that would have
Like,
been much better than like, oh,
wow.
Harry's having an affair or something that was like, which they obviously don't want to go, and they shouldn't with this couple. They should keep it pretty
Yeah.
thing. But like, I think it would have been funnier if Charlotte had just been like, oh my gosh, you're my best friend. I didn't even know it.
Yeah, 100%. And then just being like, oh, can we shop together or whatever it is? Like, we don't need Harry as the middle guy now.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't, yeah, it's interesting, like, it's interesting this episode too, like having Aiden not be a part of this world after he was so much a part of the last episode. And
Yeah.
we find out that he cheated on Carrie and all these things happen. And then it's like now we're like living in a world where Aiden is removed from it.
Well, yeah. So he tells Carrie that he cheated on her with Kathy, and that after the whole blow up with Wyatt, that they needed comfort. And Carrie's like, okay, I can understand that. You know, that makes sense. And I have to say, I mean, I do appreciate that they were like, she was like, you expected me to be celibate for 5 years. So this was actually in the previous episode. So she says, you expected me to not sleep with anyone for 5 years. And he says, why have we not had this discussion until now? And literally the sentence before that in my notes, I said, how are they just having this conversation?
Yes. And it's like,
I'm like, okay, at least that was an authentic moment, because why have they not had this conversation? That makes no sense. She literally wrote a dating advice column. She literally is a Sex and the City expert. You know, so if anybody would be the person that would bring up these kinds of issues and talk about it an unusual relationship, which she has had in the past with Big.
Absolutely.
That she's had, where they each got different stories of the house, and they had different understandings of their marriage and whatever. So like, it's not like she's a traditionalist by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Like, again, she literally is an advice columnist.
Yes.
That's what she does, is her job.
It is grossly irresponsible to not have this conversation, in the sense that and actually I can imagine a world, they're adults, they don't know when they're going to be in the same place, to be like, okay, you can date other people, you can be intimate with other people, but here are the rules. It shouldn't be your ex-wife. It shouldn't be a guy that like lives in your basement apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that these aren't just like random things. Like, that is your ex-wife. That's really inappropriate.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like it's kind of like neutered Aiden, and just made him like, why he has no personality. Like, the biggest personality that we've gotten is like him picking out glass. It's just so like bland and uninteresting. Like, he's not a human being.
Some of these speeches are starting to feel really funny too. It's like a for-your consideration moment, or like trying to get to me moment, where Aiden's like, there won't be a rainbow on that one. There won't be a rainbow. And then we have Sarah Jessica Parker going like, yes, I had a laugh and I had some scotch. Is that so bad? And it's like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here? Like, do they know how melodramatic this is?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they do.
No, I don't think that they do. It's bad. It's really bad.
Bad.
Yeah. We have Seema with an eye patch because she goes to this sketchy lash place, and lattes and lashes, which is ridiculous. Like, you're telling me there's no place like in New York City that's better than this place? Whatever. But she has to wear an eye patch, and she makes it designer, of course, and that like really gets the gardener on.
Yeah, I was like, when he started singing Betty Davis Eye, her eyes, and maybe question for you, Rachel. All the other karaoke songs, really fun. Seemed like people were really singing them. It didn't feel like that was his voice.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I agree.
That was also weird, because it really took me out of it, because everyone else, it was so obvious that it was their voice.
Well, and why not? Come on. This is your chance to have George Washington sing. Like, let's do it. Like,
or, which was hilarious at the end when Patti LuPone's like, I hate karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Too much singing. She said like too much singing. Yeah. So that was great. But yeah, we have an embarrassment of riches in this room, and we're going to have the gardener not even sing. Like, we're going to have him lip sync.
You're right. That's
like
very
the whole
true.
Thing. Yeah.
And so you have Gia, she asked Anthony if he's selling sex, and he's like, oh no, it's just fun or whatever. And it's like, I felt like that was sort of a virtue signaling moment that could have been used to be funny, but they want to like virtue signal that, oh no, we're like respecting boundaries and we're whatever. Instead of him just being like, yeah, absolutely, I'm selling sex, and like that would have been funny. But they're just so scared to offend anybody in this show. That's one of the big problems, is that they don't want to offend anybody. They don't want to be canceled for any reason. And so, we got to explain it. Oh, like, this isn't actually a tacky bread place. This is whatever.
But the problem is, when you do that, when you aim to like make everyone like the show or not offend anyone, you do the exact opposite. We're all like offended at what we're watching. We're like, how is this? How are you?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, everyone is feeling this way about it.
Yeah.
You're not worried about the storytelling then. You're kind of just in defensive mode. Like you said, it's like they put into ChatGPT that they wanted to avoid all the pitfalls that they had last time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can't like have the characters grow or be flawed or relate to them at all. Or like, people watch Sex and the City because they connected. Like I'm a Charlotte, I'm a Carrie, I'm a, you can connect with any of these people. And maybe part of that is because what they did with the movies and just making them like so unrelatable and over the top. And so maybe it's tough to scale that back. But like, I don't know. I feel like we've already talked in just this episode alone about little changes they could have made that would have made it funnier, would have made it more relatable, it would have made it better, it would have had the characters grow with just like little things that, like the response to books or the just
100%. Like these are little, we're not even saying tweak it entirely. We're like, here's little ways you could have, and it's like they're still going for the worst every time.
Yeah, they really are. It's bad. It's bad. I mean, in that first episode, so there was this funeral scene, and there were a couple jokes. Like I said, Lucille was really working hard. That actress.
She was with her Michael Kors bag,
with her Michael Kors bag, and her with that hat and everything that she was wearing. It was pretty hilarious, and so I appreciated that.
She was full of life and fun. I love that character.
And so yeah, I mean, that was fine, but I know I just think that
Herbert, that's his name. Sorry.
Who?
Herbert.
Is the husband? His name is Herbert.
The reason it popped into my head was because I think it's Herbert, because I really thought it was very sweet when Herbert's mom, when Lucille had that moment of connection.
Yeah.
With Lisa, when she gave her the little hanky.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I could see that. So then we have the end, Carrie and Miranda picking fights with each other. Like she's just trying to have a party debrief, and Carrie is getting real sensitive, and she's saying, "Oh, you're writing yourself in the book." Which again, if she had found Duncan's book, I just think that would have been better. It would have been funnier. It would have been like, oh, and then Carrie could have been like, "Ooh, what did you think? Like, what did did you?" And like that could have been funnier. And like her over interest in Duncan would have been like to Miranda, like, "Oh, what is happening here?"
Like, that's weird. Yeah, and I also thought the way Miranda reacted, where she was so wounded, it was a good performance, but it wasn't one that made sense.
Yeah.
Like she looked like she was gonna cry, and she looked so wounded, where it could just be like, "Oh, I was just joking around with you. Like, let's move on."
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a very Miranda reaction.
No. So yeah, it's bad. Lily has broken up with the boyfriend, and so they're trying to get her to do karaoke. She is at least responding like a teenager would respond, not like Wyatt. Like what?
No, she's just being like a normal petulant teen.
Like I wish that they'd had a scene with her and Brady, like talk. Like that could have been fun because they
fun flirty, yes.
But
yeah, I would have liked that too.
Yeah. So anyway, I did appreciate you had Bonnie Milligan singing.
Yeah.
Tony winner.
She killed it.
So that was fun. At least they used one of their Broadway stars.
They had to, because this was like, I did like the line about, I don't buy a candle, or I don't buy a present for anyone in New York who owns, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. And I also liked how, I don't know how this birthday party is becoming a baby shower. Like that was a funny line too. That was good. So yeah, it's a thing. So
wait, is next week the last episode?
I don't know how many episodes.
Is it an 8-episode season
actually.
Or is it 10?
No, there's 12.
All right, we got it. We
got it.
Girl, we got more time together.
Yes. So so we've got so we'll be together for episode 11, and then the last episode's on the 15th or 14th of August. So
sure will.
Well, anyway, let us know what you think of these two episodes. What do you think about this gaff that they made? Do you think it's funny? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section or on Twitter. We have City Girls Pod on Twitter, so definitely check that out. And Jax, how can people follow you?
Jacqueline Collier on Instagram.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure that you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really helps us a lot. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and check out our playlist with all of our Sex and the City content, City Girls Pod content. We would really appreciate that. And we have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything we're doing. And we try to give some really good perks. So check that out. And our merch store. We have City Girls Pod merch in the merch store. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.